Chapter 21. 3 Good Things. On Thursday, I was sitting in Mr. Harding's classroom, munching on my pimento cheese sandwich, when he came over and threw a thick book down on my desk. "Look at the cover," he said. I flipped the book over. Algebra 1 was written across the front in large letters. "Here's the deal," said Mr. Harding. His face was serious, but his eyes were shining. "You get to eat lunch in my classroom. In exchange, you have to spend 15 minutes every day doing math with me." Algebra was a high school math course. I was only in 7th grade. He read my mind. "Come on, Marley. You know 7th grade math is way too easy for you." That was true. And even though Judy talked about algebra like it was a horrible torture device, David was convinced I'd love it. "Do you need to hear the speech I prepared about how we need girls like you to save us from the Soviets?" That's what my brother had said. "All those American satellites aren't going to invent themselves." Mr. Harding grinned at me, just like David did. Maybe I could talk. Mr. Harding was already on my list. Just 15 minutes a day, and it was only about math. "Okay," I said. "Really?" asked Mr. Harding. I nodded. Mr. Harding winked at me and opened the book. On Friday I got some mail. 2 pieces, actually. The first was a postcard from Judy. It said, "Pine Bluff welcomes you," on one side, and on the other was written a short note. "Dear little sis, I hate it here. Granny burned the pot roast, the toast, and the scrambled eggs. The kids at school are mean. Please send a new pair of hose without holes. Lots of love, Judy." Mother also got a letter from Judy. Daddy kept trying to peek over her shoulder, but she kept turning away. "What does yours say?" Daddy asked me. I didn't get one. I guess Judy was still mad at him for sending her to Pine Bluff. "Granny's a bad cook," I said, "and she needs some new underwear." Daddy laughed. I wasn't much of a letter writer, but I'd have to send her a note in return. The other piece of mail was from a flyer from the Women's Emergency Committee to open our schools. "What's this?" asked Daddy. Uh-oh, my thinking voice is wondering if Marley's going to get caught from joining the WEC without her parents' approval. "Miss Winthrop is a member, I explained. "She invited me to join." The flyer said Brotherhood Week at the top, and there were 4 little buildings drawn with the names of the 4 closed high schools on them: Central, Horace Mann, Hall, and Tech. There was a quote beneath it that read, "The world is now too dangerous for anything but the truth, too small for anything but brotherhood." The post office box of the WEC was listed at the bottom. "Nice," said Daddy, and patted me on the back. Finally, it was Saturday, and I could call Liz. I waited until Mother and Daddy were busy in the backyard, and then snuck into the kitchen to use the phone. I don't like using the phone. In real life, I can usually tell if I say the wrong thing. Someone might roll their eyes or look away. But on the phone, I don't have those clues. To make things even worse, we have a party line. That means we share one phone line with 2 of our neighbors. We each have our own ring. Ours is one short and one long. But if someone wants to be nosy, they can just pick up the receiver and listen right in. And it seemed like every time I tried to place a call, Mr. Harrelson chose the exact moment to call his mother. So to deal with all those variables, I'd written out everything I was going to say on note cards. I laid them all out in front of me in short rows, took a deep breath, pictured the lions at the zoo, and dialed Liz's number. A woman answered on the fourth ring. "Hello?" "Hello," I read. "May I please speak to Elizabeth Fullerton?" "Who's calling?" She sounded suspicious. I had to look down at my notes to remember the name we'd picked out for me. "Mary," I said, "a friend from school." So right now, Marley is facing her fears by trying to contact her best friend. And again, it's very dangerous because Marley is white and Liz is black, and they cannot be friends during this time period because they could be killed. The woman grumbled something under her breath. Then I heard her yell, "Elizabeth, you have a telephone call!" A moment later, I heard Liz pick up the phone. Hello? She said. Hi, I read. It's me. Can you meet me at the zoo in 20 minutes? No. No, she was supposed to say yes. I'm taking my little brother to the movies, Liz continued. I frantically searched through my note cards for a response. Hello, are you still there? Liz asked. I thought we were going to do something today, I mumbled finally. I said I'd try. My mother needs me to watch my brother and told me to take him to the Wizard of Oz, she said. I'd invite you to come too, but we're going to the Gem, she said. The African American movie theater. I looked at the only card I had left. Great, see you there. Didn't seem quite appropriate. I need to help my mother clean the bathroom anyway. Maybe at another time, she said brightly. Yes, I said, and hung up the phone, disappointed. As I scrubbed the toilet, I started thinking. Why hadn't I said, great, see you there? I knew the gym was over on the West Ninth Street. If I could go to a black church, why not a black movie theater? I turned the idea over and over in my mind, like a lemon drop on my tongue. I imagined being the only white girl in a room full of African Americans and shivered. It was a little scary. But Liz had been the only colored girl in the whole school full of white kids. African Americans might not be welcome at the white theater, but I didn't think there was a rule against whites going to their theater. If she could do it, so could I.